love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? There you go, baby, here am I. Oh, will you left me here so I could sit and cry? Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Love you like I do.
Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Cars and Us. I'm your host for the next 30 minutes, Dennis Tate. And tonight I'm going to have a little bit of a discussion about some different various topics, from drag racing to magazines, a little bit of everything. But you know what? I'm really excited tonight because I have two friends of mine that traveled quite a distance. They came from Long Island tonight to join us up here at the studio. And I want to introduce Dennis Quitoni and Anthony Ferrara. Dennis put on the, some of you have already seen the show aired up here. Dennis put on the Long Island reunion. He got together all the drag racers, the former drag racers and stock car racers and everything. And he had a little get together out there in Nassau County out in Long Island. So he did a great show. And I wanted to invite him up here to talk to about the future, what the future is going to bring, what shows he's going to do like next year, and what's going to go on out in the island. And Anthony is a publisher of Long Island Rides. It's a terrific magazine. We just found out about it. We got the first issue up at Murata's show back in February, and so I wanted to have Anthony up here. Dennis invited him, so. Hey, I want to welcome you guys to Cars and Us, and I'm glad that you made the trip up here. And we got a lot of things to talk about. We got some nice photos. We got the magazine. We got a little bit of everything. So it was like I said, it was nice that you guys made the trip, and we're glad to have you up here.
Well, it's very nice to be here. Thank you very much.
It certainly is.
So the reunion.
Yeah.
Went off really great. It was a great show. A little bit of a show because you had a great day and you had cars outside. I wound up, with all the interviews and everything I did, I wound up making 3 shows out of it. So it was really nice. It was a good event, definitely. It was those guys were really excited to see one another again. So you ran a good thing. Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, it was something that I think needed to be done because, as you could tell from the age group, it was a lot of guys that have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Some of us haven't seen each other since the Dover days or Islip Speedway. And it was fascinating to me because I didn't know everybody there. Of course, I knew most people there, but I got to see guys in a different way than being at the racetrack.
Right.
Usually, when we're racing, we're kind of singletary and
Sure.
don't get involved. But seeing guys like the Gene Eady brothers that are in their late 70s, early 80s, some of the original drag races. Guys, famous races that are certainly on the East Coast, like Tony and Ralph Landalfi and Billy Lynch with his top fuel car, and then of course having the cars out there was quite a thing, and Mother Nature helped us out because it didn't rain.
For sure,
That's what we needed. And I appreciate you coming down and doing what you did.
We had a great time. I mean, I made 3 shows out of it. I was in my glory. I don't know those guys real personally. I know them from drag racing from way back where, hey, how you doing, and you're at the track. And you're busy, like you said, at the track, you're busy. You're doing your own thing. You got your car and you're working on your car and you're trying to concentrate on racing and stuff. So really, you don't really get a chance to socialize except at the end of the day, and you go out and you party at the end of the day. But you know what? The guys from Long Island and a guy like Ralph from Nunzi from Brooklyn, they want to get home, and so they really didn't hang out too much, So really never got an opportunity to really sit down and befriend, all these guys. Just knew them from, like I said, to say hello, goodbye, and maybe borrow something, But that was the extent of it. But what you did and bringing them together was really great because they were ecstatic. I mean to tell you, they were just so happy because they hadn't seen each other in 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. And they were very appreciative. So it really went over very well. The way you organized it and the way you handed out the trophies and you recognized certain people, was really nice. And you had even the little plaques for everybody that you invited was really nice. I mean, I do things, but I just get everybody together. But what you did was you went above and beyond, and that was really, really nice. Very tastefully done. It was a pleasure to be there.
I appreciate you saying that, but let me give you a little idea of the difference between what I thought we were accomplishing with that particular reunion and most reunions that you and I go to. Is that I didn't want it just to be certainly it wasn't just a drag racer thing. It was street riders, it was stock car races and drag races. But more importantly, I needed to have the people that had the influence, the guys that helped develop the sport back in the 50s and 60s. So that's the reason why it was more of an invite. And you're right, a lot of these guys haven't seen each other in 30 or 40 years. And a lot of them, including myself, when we were racing, you didn't have the time, and certainly none of us, or very few of us, ever thought that we'd be doing this in our 50s and 60s.
Right.
I'm still lucky. I'm still driving a race car.
I know, you're crazy.
But a lot of guys are no longer doing that, But we've got people that, like Richie Zool or Eddie Acom from A&P Automotive. These guys are very successful in their time. But they were very focused also. So you never got a chance to see them as friends or just old timers.
That's right. That's right.
It was great to have that kind of thing happen, and I got to tell you, I am overwhelmed at the amount of emails and letters and phone calls that I got from guys, and of course now to put the pressure on me because now we got to do it again. So we'll cook something up for next year.
Right, it will be an annual event, and there's a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and but you know what? That's the reward you get when you get email and when you get people calling you and telling you, hey, it was great, thanks a lot. That's the most reward you can get, is by your peers, calling you and telling you and writing you, and that's it. That's what it's all about. And you'll decide to do different things every year, And as long as you can continue it, that's what you want to do.
Absolutely, and that's just what we're going to do. I mean, I don't know that I want to do exactly the same thing because I don't like doing things redundantly, but we're going to put something together and we'll continue on with it.
Well, now you have a huge crowd to draw from, okay? So it's going to be big.
Yeah.
So, now it's a change of venue. That's what it is. But
Well, it's good to get the response from it. That's the response that you did get.
yeah.
Now you know.
I mean, you know, I told you that. I said, you were concerned about getting 65 or 70 people. I said, you know what, you're going to go way above and beyond that, you know, and that's what happens. But you know, now you know that, and like I said, now you go to a venue that can hold 100 people or 150 people or 200 people, whatever it is. But you'll whatever venue you have, you'll get enough people. That's for sure.
Yeah, it seems that way. I mean,
They're out there.
About a week before the event, when the word started to get out, because like I said, it was basically an invite only, so a lot of people didn't know. But once the word got out, I now have a mailing list, well over 100 names.
Sure.
And these are not the younger guys. These are still the guys that oh geez, I raced at Eiffel Speedway back in 1959 or whatever. So it's a thrill to have this happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to meet Anthony out there, and you know what? I don't know how I missed him, because this gorgeous magazine he's got. Richie and I picked it up in Murata's show up in February. Like I said early on. And then we saw it. Richie picked up. He says, look. He says that magazine is out here again. At your event.
Well, let me introduce you to Anthony a little bit, because I'm thrilled with what Anthony's doing, and as he knows, I've told him many times, what he's doing is going to be even more important as the future goes on. Anthony Ferrara is the publisher and major editor of Long Island Rides magazine. It's a magazine dedicated to everything that happens in the automotive world in and around Long Island.
Sure.
That includes motorcycles and boats and cars and drag racing and stock car racing and street rods. And he's done a fabulous job. It's a quality magazine. It's on quality paper. And knowing Anthony like I do, and knowing the amount of time he puts in every week to get this thing published as a full-time affair, I'm just thrilled. So, I'd like your audience to get a little bit to know Anthony.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's why we have him here. In fact, I want you to hold up some of your issues. And what is this? The latest one, right?
Yeah, I can hold the latest one. That's fine. This is actually my
the
2-year anniversary.
most recent one. Yeah. What camera we got?
This is the 2008 April.
Yeah.
Right, and I started this magazine.
All right, that's it.
2006 of April.
Just hold that right there. That's good.
All right. So yeah, the 2-year anniversary issue right here. It's very proud of it. We came from a paper magazine. We just tried it out, and we got a lot of people to back us.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's see the first one. Yeah.
Okay. This is the first one, and this actually was a 24-page.
Just hold it straight up so that that we get a camera shot on it, and then you can talk about it.
Okay, you got it.
If you want to open it up, you can open it up too.
There you go. This is just 24 pages on newspaper print, and it was just an idea. We came up with the idea, and in 1 month we put this together.
Now, Anth, how long ago was this? When did you?
This is April 2006.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's April 2006. And
wow,
this
you
one
came a
here-
long way in 2 years.
This one here is April 2008. So we're very
That's
proud.
wow. That's terrific.
We've had great people back us, like Dennis Quitoni here. He gives me great write-ups. He does human interest write-ups, technical write-ups.
Yeah.
A lot of things that people really want to see. He
Now-
did this wonderful write-up on Jack Murphy. Right here.
That's a segue. You know what we're going to do? Open it up. Just to go over one sheet, because Dennis did a great job on that.
Oh, this is
it's
phenomenal.
nice.
This is
There's a
He
nice
came
picture
up-
of the
he came
car.
up with things like Jack's
Yeah.
old time slip, so we incorporated that with our graphic design. We really
Yeah.
took pride in our design.
Now, all my viewers, mostly they're all drag racers, all former drag racers and stuff. So you mentioned Jack Merkel, it's like mentioning any other big name. He had so many guys. Now, I went through some of my footage, but I couldn't get everything together in the short amount of time. But he had a lot of guys running out of his stable, running out of, and I was able to go through and select one of the cars, and I don't know exactly who. It's an Italian name, and I think there were two brothers, and I can't remember. You might remember, but anyway, I got film footage, so I'm going to have Joey go to the videotape, and that's the Jack Merkel tape, Joe. and put that in, and it's got sound on it too. So if you want to leave the sound up, that's fine too. But anyway, it's just a real quick snippet.
Sure.
This was at Dover. So how you doing up there, Joey? There it is. Like I said, it's a short run, but that was one of the cars that ran out of Jack's shop. Now I have footage of his car too. It's just like I said, I didn't have enough time to, to search through. I have so much footage that it's.
It almost seems that back in those days, the late 50s, early 60s, that every what we call door slammer drag racer seemed to come out of Jack's shop. I mean, Jack Merkel himself, Eddie Sanzo and his partner, and Vinny Tarantola, who was the owner of the Vitar transmissions, and the Anteater, and my partner George Cook, Papa Cooks, was one of Jack's first engines. Had Jack build one of his first engines. It just seemed like most of us started out one way or another with Jack Merkel.
With Jack Merkel? Oh yeah, sure. No, he was
going strong.
A true pioneer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what you had at your event. These guys were all the pioneers. I mean, they were, like you say, in their 70s, and upwards. So they were the ones that really started it back in the late 40s, early 50s, mid 50s, when West Hampton opened up 54. And so these guys, they're the pioneers. They're the true, starters of this
Well, I'll tell you,
of this industry.
Being just a guest at Dennis's function, just standing back and watching everybody and talking and listening to them, it really was great. And I think it's incredibly important that people know these stories, for all the ones that want their stories told. So.
Now, you know what? Speaking about your magazine, now what some of the viewers may not know is that it's a free magazine.
Yeah, this is a free publication.
Now, you do cars and you also do bikes.
Yeah, cars and bikes.
But you're able to do it through the advertisers.
Correct. So it's free. It comes out once a month. It's sponsored by a lot of advertisers that we have some pretty good names.
Now, where can people pick it up? I mean, is it strictly out in the island? I mean, I got it up in Connecticut because of the show. But supposing some of the viewers here that are in the Connecticut area, that are in Westchester and further, if they wanted to get...
We do offer subscription. We do have a subscription. And,
you do?
Yeah, you could just, you could call our office. Could I give a phone number?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry I didn't know it before.
No problem. No, that's okay. That's Long Island Rides, and the phone number is 631-650-7911. And you could call up there and say, hey, I'd like a subscription, and it's reasonably priced. Or you could go to we're in about 350 shops, all the major Harley-Davidson dealerships, all the major speed shops on the island, a lot of the smaller garages. Like I said, 350 shops, Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, Suffolk. We're starting to touch on upstate.
But strictly out on the island. In other words, there's no like parts stores or anything that would carry it up here, or you haven't
We're just breaking into the upstate area. And so look for us in your local shops. If you don't see us, you could always call up. And you can
because you got a big Harley dealer up in Danbury.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well, we're working on.
And then you got Reggie Pink over in White Plains.
Right. Well, we'd like to get all these people involved. All these people, like I do with a lot of my advertisers. A lot of my advertisers build a lot of great stuff. I've got interior guys. I've got chassis guys, and what I'll do is I'll go to their shops and we'll take pictures and we'll talk to the owner and we'll say, well, what work have you done? And bring some customer cars in when we take the shots. This way we can show you off. We can show off your work and focus on you. And people are getting a really good reaction from it. They're getting a lot of phone calls. And it makes me feel good.
Well, it's very impressive. I mean, like I said, we spotted it, amongst some of the others that were up there, but it's really, it stands out. It just jumps right out at you.
Well, I'd like to give you a copy of the first issue. This way you can have it.
Thank you very much.
Start your collection.
I appreciate that.
And this is a copy of the 2-year anniversary as well. So you can have
that's
that.
terrific.
Enjoy that.
That's excellent. And you have some nice, classy models. These girls are nice. They're not racy or anything. They're class.
We do.
That's what I like. It's a nice class operation.
We try to stay that way. And, it just makes it easier for the guys to pick it up with the girl on the cover, just as long as you stay tasteful.
Yeah.
Because it is free, so anybody can pick it up. You want to be careful like that. So.
Dan, you have a lot of pictures here you brought.
Yeah.
Let's see some of them.
Well, let's start.
Because this goes back to your early days of racing.
Yeah, well,
first car.
the first picture is actually the first real race car that I was involved in, and this was back in the early 60s. This would be 1962 when we first built this. It was an Oldsmobile-powered Bantam Roadster.
Yeah, a lot of the guys ran Oldsmobiles then.
Yeah, Oldsmobiles were the way to go. You know,
Yeah.
you can buy them out of the junkyard
Yep.
for $50.
That's
and
right.
Run them until they blew up and buy another one, and that's pretty much what we did. We just put a bunch of carburetors on it and ran it. I don't know that we really knew what we were doing in those days, but we knew we were having fun.
Fun. That's it.
And that's all
And going
drag
fast.
racing was. Yeah, it was just fun. And this picture here is what I'm driving now, and this is, of course, the other end of the stick. This is the Cook's Headers Special, and it's an altered, runs on alcohol. It's a low 7-second, 180-mile-an-hour car. And,
That's terrific.
you know, at 65 years old, it's
Yeah.
about as fast as I want to be
I know.
going. But,
You know what?
but I'm
a lot
having a good
faster
time.
than I want to go. That's for
Well,
sure.
It's once you're doing it, it's great fun. But it's a quality car. My partner, Papa Cook, that owns Cook's Headers.
George Chrising,
George
terrific
Chrising,
guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Yep.
And, you know, he's given me a lot of leeway, a lot of help, obviously,
Yeah.
with this project.
Yeah.
And we just like to get out there and mess it up with the young guys. And if you take a shot on the very nose of the car, it says the Old Goats Gang. And I guess that describes
okay.
us
That's
better
cute.
than anything else.
That's
you know,
cute.
so that's what we are. We're just a couple of old goats out there racing, and we're having a lot of fun.
What tracks are you going to? You going to
Well,
Atco?
we go to Atco. In fact, we're going to Atco, I think, in about 4 weeks from now. But we run Nito.
Oh, do you?
Yes, and
Oh, okay.
I like Nito
Tony
a
File.
lot. Yeah, Tony File's group. Tony is a great guy personally, but his group's a great group. I mean, everybody we've met there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that run.
I'm sure you do, because they
Yeah.
base themselves
Yeah.
out of this area.
Yep.
But it's kind of like a race within a race. We don't have to sit in staging lanes, especially when you're wearing fire suits, you know, for 2 or 3 hours. And we race at Atco. We race at Island Dragway. We're going to be up here Lebanon Valley. We won one big nostalgia race at Englishtown in July.
Right.
So it's relatively local, and at the price of gas today, you kind of want to stay local, but.
Oh, for sure.
But if there's enough
Oh, it's
traveling,
putting a hurting
you know,
on everybody.
yeah,
We don't
it
want to
really
get
is.
into politics.
No, we're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the bad stuff. But I certainly do. You know, if I needed to put a plug in for Nito, this is the plug, because they're great people.
Yeah,
They do a good job.
They have a good good group, and a lot of fast cars, a lot of nice cars, and
Absolutely.
and they have a lot of fun.
Yeah,
You know, they're keeping the sport going too, for sure. The Bantam body, I wanted to make mention. That's it's like, when you look at it real quick, it's like George Snizek's the Pacers car.
Well,
You know?
there's a quick, interesting story, if you don't mind me telling you. George Snizek is one of my heroes, and the reason why I ran a Bantam car is that when I first saw the Pacers Tasmanian Devil, it was one of those cars that it just sticks in your mind.
Oh, yeah.
You remember it. You know?
Class.
A very class operation. I didn't know the guys at the time.
Right.
But I knew that I wanted to have something like they had.
Right.
I wasn't capable of building something as fast as they had.
That's
But it stuck with me, and it turns out that 35 years later, I find out that George Snizek lives about 5 blocks away from me.
is that right?
And we become really good friends. And George and his son, Scott, as you may know, they're involved in not only the original car,
Right.
which is upstate New York, coming down here.
Remind me to tell you about Upstate.
Okay, but they also had the Tasmanian Devil 2 being
Right.
built out in the West Coast.
Arizona.
Arizona. And both those cars are going to be here in June.
Right.
And we're going to have them sitting side by side for
Right.
the first time ever, and I think it's going to be a fantastic deal. It's going to be a little car show that, again, it's kind of an invite that we're going to be doing at a Goodyear dealership. My car will be the third car there, and then we're also going to have Billy Lynch's
Lynch's-
restored
Right.
top fuel car, front engine
Right.
top fuel car, which is one of the most fabulous restorations you've ever seen.
Beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
the last car built by a famous chassis builder by the name of Pat Foster, and unfortunately Pat passed away shortly after
Just-
finishing Billy's
yeah,
car.
yeah.
But those 4 cars, especially the 2 Devils, are sitting side by side. I mean,
It's going to be a treat.
I'm as much of a
Sure.
fan now
Oh,
as I
yeah.
was then, so
Yeah.
it's
history
going to
again.
be quite a deal.
I'm going to give you a little treat right now, because we got it queued up. Take a look at this. All right, Joey.
that's the reason why that car was so popular.
That's it. It's Connecticut Dragway.
Yeah. I can't imagine.
When I did, I have footage of it at Dover too, but again, I have to search for it, you know. But when I did the interview with George out there at your event, you know, I told him, I said, I have film footage of your car at Connecticut Dragway and at Dover too. He says, you do? Yeah. I said, yeah. You know, I said, I'll try and put it together.
When you spoke with George, did he tell you about the footage that they made of their car? Well, I got to tell you.
Of the restoration?
No, of the original car back in the day. They filmed this car making the pass in the street on Lawson Boulevard with traffic coming down.
Oh, yeah?
This is a fuel altered. You know, you often hear stories about guys talk about how, well, yo, we ran our car on the street. Well, this one is true. I mean, and they got it on film, and
Lawson
it was
Boulevard,
taken. Yep, it was taken around 1964, I believe it was, or 65, and it shows you that in those days we used to push start these things.
Yeah.
And it shows you their truck push starting it right down the boulevard with traffic coming, and George just lit them up and made a pass.
I saw some pictures then, but I didn't
well,
see
we're gonna send you. I should have been smart enough to bring you a DVD.
Well, that's okay. You know what?
But,
Because I've been talking to Scott, and we're coming down in June. You know, to the show. You
Yes.
know,
Right.
we're gonna come down Saturday night and then Sunday.
Right, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we're having a little dinner on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what he told me. I'm trying to bring, on my intro, there was a Willys. I don't know if you noticed it or not. That's an old Connecticut Dragway. It's one of the first flip-top funny cars. And it's a 33 Willys glass flip-top.
Right, yeah.
And my friend has it. And it's running. He's waiting for the front end to come back. And he sent the Vertex mag out because he just had a little problem when we started it a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, I'm hoping that car's finished and he's going to bring that out. I got to call Scott because Scott said to me, he says, if you're going to bring cars, let me know so I'll save a space for him.
Yeah,
you know?
we definitely would love you to
Because
bring
it's
cars.
all original, you know. It's an original race car, you know.
That's going to be great. It's going to be great.
That's going to be a good,
That show is only going to have, besides the 4 that I mentioned that'll be sitting inside the glass
Right.
window, it's only going to have around 25 cars, and certainly want cars of the quality that you're
Well, he
talking.
told me, he says that they have 2 lots, because I want the viewers to know, they have 2 lots across the street that they is going to be open to whatever, you know, classic and custom cars. So they, from what I understand, they got quite a bit of room over
We're not
there.
going to limit.
There are two bank lots or something?
Yeah, well, next door is a bank, and then across the street there's a big lot. We're not going to limit the cars
Right.
that want to come and be part of it. But in the section that we have, the
Inside.
dealership itself.
Inside, right.
And not just inside, but outside also. In the
Okay.
dealership itself,
Okay.
we're kind of going to be limiting that to a certain amount of drag cars and a certain amount of street
Yeah.
rods.
Yeah.
But certainly, I mean,
Yeah.
if 100 cars showed up, we got the room for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
why
what I
not?
was.
Why not?
That's why I want the viewers to know. You know
Yeah.
that it's open and it's free. It's a free car show.
Absolutely,
You know.
yeah.
And so that's going to be nice.
And there's a couple of interesting things that I don't know if I'm really privileged to say it at this time because it's not locked in stone, but we've got a temporary promise from Goodyear that if the blimp is in the area,
Oh, they're gonna
they're
come
going
by.
to fly the
Oh,
blimp
that's
over
terrific.
for that Sunday afternoon.
That's terrific.
And we're kind of
That's nice.
hoping that and at this stage right now, that seems to be what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And the owner of the dealership is also going to have a live rock band there, and there's going to be some
Okay.
food. So it's going to be a fun deal.
Looking forward to it. You know what? I just got queued up. We got a minute left, so time flies so fast when you do these shows.
Yeah.
You know, it just goes like crazy. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you for
All right.
having us, Dennis.
Anthony.
it's my pleasure.
All right. We're going to try to promote your magazine as well.
Oh, absolutely.
The show, whatever we got to do for next year, you know, we're always here to help. You know, however we can help is fine. I'm really glad you guys come up. And, you know, we'll air the show all over so people will see and get to know the magazine and, you know, we'll know what's going on in the island. And we'll start promoting, you know, everybody else in the whole
Right.
entire area. So I want to thank you again. And for all your viewers out there seeing the show tonight, if you have any question or anything, don't hesitate to give me a call. My graphics will come up on the end, and my phone number, my email, and everything else. And if you didn't remember Anthony's phone number, get a hold of me, and we'll put you in touch, and you get that free Long Island Rides magazine. For another edition of Cars and Us, this is Dennis Tate saying good night, be well, and drive safe. That's it.
Well done, Dennis.
A lot of fun.